Frank Luna, and welcome to Making Space. Here we celebrate the inspiring stories of the Valley's LGBTQ+ community and their allies. You're tuned into Arizona Barrio Stories, a proud part of the Latino USA TV network and family. Today we're wrapping up the third in a series of shows with our partner, Voices of the Desert Community Choir, entitled Breaking the Chains of Familial Trauma, Rejection and Pain, with the conclusion, Community Found. You may remember, earlier this summer we started the series with an interview with Mr. David Soto-Griego, who shared his compelling coming out story. It was followed by a second interview with Keith Clark, the artistic director of Voices of the Desert, who gave us a background about the choir. Today, it's my privilege to welcome a leader in the LGBTQ+ community and the board president of Voices of the Desert, Mr. Manny Soto-Griego. Manny, thank you for joining us today. I can't think of anybody better to talk to us about the importance of community and the idea of coming together and finding one's community, especially during these trying times of uncertainty. I'm grateful for your time with us here today. Why don't we get started?
Thank you for having me. Looking forward
Absolutely.
to this.
Tell us your background, where you grew up. What was life growing up like for you and your family?
Well, I was born in Mérida, Yucatan, Mexico. I was raised in Southern California. We moved there when I was just a baby, maybe 8-9 months year old. What was it like? I guess I knew all along from a very young age that I was different from the other boys. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was different. But I kept it to myself.
Sure.
I kept it to myself. I was with a large Hispanic Mexican family, very Catholic, very religious, but I need to keep that to myself. I still felt comfortable within my family. I was still me. I was still expressing who I was truly. But I remember one time, remember the show Three's Company?
Oh, absolutely. Used to watch it all the time.
That was
Funny.
my savior, right? The main character, straight man pretending to be gay, and funny at the same time. That's who I became.
Jack Tripper.
Jack Tripper. That was my I guess my personality, my hidden self. Because everyone would compare me to that. I knew I was gay, pretending to be a straight person, but I was still being funny.
Sure.
So that's who I grew up to be. I really enjoyed myself, and that really saved me. That was my hero. Because I knew I could be myself, and I can just say I was just like him. She's still straight, but just pretending to be gay. So I knew who I was. I was comfortable with who I was. I just wasn't expressing it. And I wasn't sure because I didn't feel safe, or just, to me, it just didn't feel like I needed to express it at the time. I was still young and through high school. It wasn't until high school, I went to Montebello High in California, Southern California, and my friend came out to me.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow. We were 3 best friends. One of them came out to me. And I was like, well, this is an opportunity for me. Well, guess what? I am as well. I'm gay as well. He didn't believe me.
Really?
He thought I was just trying to steal his thunder. And I was like, no, really, I am gay too, so I'm glad we're having this conversation. And our third friend in the group was straight. So he had to deal with 2 gay boys friends. And we got along great. We were there for each other and our families. We supported each other. So to me, it was being a gay youth for me wasn't a big deal. To me, it wasn't traumatic. Afraid to say it. Wasn't like I was afraid to come out. I just didn't feel the need to, but I could still be myself. It wasn't until college that I finally came out. And I came out to my friends. And then I started finding my community. And living in California, I went to Long Beach State, and I started working for the Queen Mary, of all places. And I had a blast because I found others that were just like me. You know, other peers that were gay, and we were having fun, and that's when I really started coming out. I think I was 19 years old in that summer job, and it was the best fun time we ever had. And I came out to my best friend, a female at the time then, because she was going to start working there.
Okay.
And I already started expressing who I was at work, so I wanted her to find out from me, not from work, not rumors from people that knew me from work. And she's like, that's fine, not a big deal. So coming out to me was I guess not traumatic, per se. It was just a natural course of my life, my story.
Right.
And I accepted myself. And when I came out to my brothers and to my mom, I was 21 years old.
Okay.
I lived in New York City at the time. So I moved to New York City when I was 21. I came back that summer and I said, hey, this is who I really am. And I told my brothers, and I remember my brother just saying, are you someone different? When you're gay, are you the same?
Right,
And I'm still me.
Right.
I'm not changing. I'm not doing any different. This is who I am. And they were cool. They were like, okay. And my mom had a lot of gay friends, right? So she was okay with it as well. So it wasn't a big deal. Sometimes I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So I think I created more drama in my head.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, as long as you're safe, as long as everything's good, if you need anything, we're here.
Now, I'm curious. Your friends in high school, were they Latino as well? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
They're Latinos, yeah.
That's great.
They were Latinos. We went to Montebello High.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. So within the family, it didn't really cause a seismic shift.
It did not. It did not. And I got to say, it was just my immediate family that I told. I didn't really feel like broadcasting it to my grandmother, to my uncles, to my aunts. They weren't really part of my life. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 13. So, of course, what is the traditional, the oldest male becomes the father and the man of the house. So I lost some distance from my uncles and my aunts, and that was fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had that experience.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate because I do know that a lot of queer in the queer community do not have that type of experience.
Right.
There's turmoil, there's conflict that they just can't find a way out, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Which is what I do.
Right. Exactly.
That's what I do.
Which gets into kind of the next question. You currently serve as Director of Health Information Management at Valley Wise Health, and you're active in many LGBTQ plus organizations in the community, including the Greater Phoenix Equality Chamber of Commerce and others. But today, you're wearing your hat as the board president of Voices of the Desert Community Choir. And you kindly agreed to update us on two programs that we addressed in the prior interviews with guests from the choir. And the first was the concert that happened in June, the Voices of the Desert concert, Love is Love. Can you give us a recap of how everything turned out?
It was great. It was beautiful. The music was amazing. The choir, because it's a mixed choir of men, women, non-binary, trans, gay, lesbian, straight allies. It's a mixed choir. Their voices are always, to me, impeccable. Yeah. Right? I love it. My husband David's been part of the choir as long as I've known him, so for 15 years.
And David, who was our first guest.
Correct. And so I've always been part of and the audience, or supporting backstage, or supporting any which way I can. So I stepped in, as you said, as the president. So the concert was amazing. They did have some video interviews of different type of love.
Yeah.
So David and myself, we represented the gay male relationship. There was lesbian relationships. There were non-binary. There were straight allies. There was even self-love.
Yes.
Right. So someone that wasn't in a relationship, but it was about self-love, which I think was very strong. So I believe that in order to connect with someone or the community, you have to find self-love first.
Right, absolutely.
That is one way to move forward positively without being influenced by external forces of who you should be. So I think it was a very powerful message that was shared with the community. It went very well attended. It was a lot of fun. And that's where we kicked off the Be Safe campaign with the stickers.
I was just going to get into that.
We kicked that off a couple of months ago.
You want to talk about that more and give the audience a brief recap description of the Be Safe initiative?
Be Safe initiative. So here we have these stickers. When you pull this middle piece off, you'll see it is music notes and a music bar. And with music letters, it does have the music note of B, a little squiggly line with the S, and AFE, so be safe.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be nonchalant, a little sticker there with the QR code that if anyone in the community is in need, the QR code directs them to currently now 17 local resources that are available to them, 1 in 10, Valleywise Health, Aunt Rita's.
Right.
There's a lot of organizations that want to be part of this linkage, so we can connect youth or adults, whoever is in need, or even a parent of a youth that doesn't know, what is happening with their youth, but is actively being proactive to search for help. So that is what this is for, and we're very proud of that campaign. And like I said, we started with 15 organizations, local organizations. Now we're at 17, and we just kicked this off, I think, 7 months ago.
Yeah.
And we want to make it grow. We want to make it available, and we do want to make these stickers available to different organizations and schools. I am working with a school organization right now where my goal is to give each high school, there's 25 high schools, at least 50 stickers. And we're bringing awareness to those teachers and counselors of, LGBTQ awareness and creating safe spaces in today's environment. I sometimes don't feel safe in what's happening, so I can only imagine what the youth is going through.
Absolutely.
When they're constantly being attacked, and they see that they're being attacked on TV and by all these bills that are being, hateful bills that are being produced for no reason whatsoever other than to raise attention there while everything else is being destroyed.
Absolutely.
So it's just a game of chess to these people when they're really playing with lives.
Absolutely.
So we're very proud of that, and we're always looking for funds to print those stickers. The more we can print out, the more lives we can save, and that's our mission right now, is to fundraise for those stickers and hand them out.
Manny, I'm glad you said that, and I am very proud to let our audience know that Arizona Barrio Stories and Making Space have joined forces with Voices of the Desert to support this initiative. We are collaborative partners, and we have already started seeking joint grant funding. We started applying for funding because we want to, Barrio Stories want to bridge the program to the Latino community, to the Latino youth, the LGBTQ youth in the community that are Latinos, because this is a very important program. And thanks to Chicanos por la Causa, they have graciously agreed to be the first organization in the Latino community to be part of the Be Safe Initiative program, and they are now on the Voices of the Desert resource page.
Thank you.
And they are going to be representing the Latino community, and we hope it'll be the first organization of many among the Latino and Chicano community to be there for the Latino youth that are in crisis. So we have started this, and we're going forward, and as Manny said, this is about getting stickers printed out, and it may not sound like a big deal, folks, but it is. It costs about $1 per sticker, and we want to saturate the community with these stickers. And just to give you an example, we just put in for a grant for $30,000 with Voices of the Desert, and we want to get at least 20,000 stickers through that grant. We're hoping that the grant gets funded.
Thank you.
So that we can get things started. And we're going to move forward. So I wanted to get that plug out there.
If I may also plug in.
Absolutely.
If there's anyone out there listening that wants to be a resource for the community, please reach out to us.
Please do.
Please reach out to us and we'll add you to that list, because our community needs the support. They need the love.
Yeah.
And they need that warmth, loving feeling of finding these spaces to go. And not only the community, like I said earlier, their families, their mothers, right? For a single mother that doesn't know what's happening with their youth,
Absolutely.
being part of the 1 in 10 board for 6 years and working at the hospital, I have a staff of about 100 employees, and I have staff throughout the country. One day I mentioned at one of our staff meetings of the event for 1 in 10 that we're doing a fundraiser, and I explained what 1 in 10 was. A couple of days after that, I got a phone call from one of my employees from St. Louis, and she specifically asked me about that. She's like, can you direct me to any resources here locally, because my daughter is transitioning, and she was having a hard time because it's her. She knew her as her son.
Sure.
But as much as she tried to communicate to the daughter didn't feel comfortable, so they had this conflict of how to speak to each other. So I did connect her to 1 in 10, and they did connect her to resources there. And I followed up with her a couple of months later, and they're doing great.
Yeah.
They moved from a small town to the big city because of her daughter.
Yeah.
She wasn't being felt welcomed or safe in the school she was in. And I remember having the conversation with her that when they went to the high school for her to apply, they asked them for their pronouns.
Wow.
And that's where the daughter felt very safe. And that makes it just as simple as pronouns.
Absolutely. And
Understanding pronouns.
And doesn't it come down to communication and being, having the courage to just communicate and open up the lines, and that's really what it comes down to is having that bravery.
That one question.
And it does save lives.
It really does, because you never know where this daughter would have ended up.
Yeah.
And the mother, single parent, navigating something that they're not familiar with and wanting to be there for their daughter.
Yeah.
And just be part of that strength for her.
Yeah.
Right, so it's a beautiful story, and that's why at work, regardless of what meeting I have with who, I always introduce myself with my full name and my pronouns.
Very good.
Even if I'm the only one in the meeting,
Right.
I always
Doesn't
do
matter.
it until it becomes a habit for someone
One person
else.
can make a difference. Yeah. Manny, as we close, from what I know about you, you're a thoughtful, compassionate man. And in the past several shows we've done, as I said, they really started because your husband was an inspiration, David Sotogriego. His story of resilient survival and renewal and finding his community, and in essence, his chosen family. Manny, what would you say to someone in our audience who's in search of their community but isn't sure where to begin?
I think, like I said earlier, you begin internally with yourself. Understand yourself and love yourself for who you are, because you're perfect. Exactly who you are, regardless of what anyone else says. And then once you're comfortable and once you understand who you are, then I do believe everything else starts falling in place.
Yeah.
I really do believe you will know where you will find that friend, where you will find that comfortable space. That's what worked for me, right? Is taking that step. And like I said, understanding yourself first before you find the community is healthy, because if you look for a community to define you, it may not be who you believe you should be.
Right.
You could be misguided.
Yeah.
You can be someone you do not want to be. So it's a very strong thing to learn, and I know it's very hard for some people to accept themselves, but that is the first hard step you have to take, because then everything else becomes easier.
Right.
If you think you're going to find it easier by finding a community first, for them to define who you are, it might lead you down the wrong path.
Exactly.
And then once you find that community of joy and love, because that's what you're looking for, is joy and love and acceptance,
Right.
I challenge everyone to pay it forward. And that's what I do. I like to pay it forward. I was very fortunate, so I want to help others be in a space that's safe for them, or create those spaces. I do that, or with a small group at the hospital, we do that. I'm very supported by leadership. We are certified by the Human Rights Campaign as a leader in LGBTQ healthcare through the Healthcare Equality Index, so I lead that project. We started the Employee Resource Group. So that's my way of paying it forward to creating that community of where I work. Volunteering for the Greater Equality Chamber of Commerce, being on that board, being on the board for Voices of the Desert, being on the board for 1 in 10, was my way of learning and paying it forward, doing what I can, and creating this community.
Right.
We got to meet you. You know, I met my husband 15 years ago. I know his story. I'm very proud of him. We created a community of friends, and we support them as well. So I would say the first step, as challenging as it might be for some individuals, is find yourself first, love yourself first, because that'll guide you to the next step, and everything will fall in place. And pay it forward.
Right. Well, we couldn't end on better words, Manny, and we join you in your charge about making spaces safer for everybody and welcoming and paying it forward. That's what we're trying to do here at Arizona Body of Stories and making space. So Manny, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Making the time today and sharing your wisdom and your work. Until next time, folks, thank you for joining us here today. Have a good day.